very, very first guest, the remarkable Queen Ackera Nugent. Ackera Nugent, as you may know, is the 2023 NCAA Indoor 60-meter hurdles champion. She is also the 2023 NCAA Outdoors 100-meter hurdles champion. Ackera Nugent was also a finalist at 2023's Women's 100-meter hurdles at the World Athletics Championships, which took place in Budapest. Queen Ackera Nugent is currently ranked number 12 in the world in the women's 100-meter hurdles, according to World Athletics. And we are super excited to have this remarkable talent, this remarkable human being, as our first guest at our premiere Peter Lloyd World's YouTube channel sports live stream called Yep, Good to Go. A person, as I said, really, really talented. Gentlemen, Ackera. Ackera, were you singing? Were you singing a while ago?
Yes.
Bust the tune, man. Bust the tune, man. I want to hear you.
I was literally just saying wooty wooty.
Welcome to the stream, Ackera Nugent.
Thank you for having me.
Always. We strive here on one of our passions is talking about the rising great talents, and I know that at you're what 17? No, I know you're not 17. But you really are one of the rising great talents, and there's so many things that. But before we even start, let me first say thank you for choosing to be here. It means a lot to us here. Myself and the team are super excited. I'm sorry that the team themselves are not here, right? But we are truly, truly excited to have you. So first up, we just showed that little clip of you winning the 100 meters. I want to start here, right? At last year's NCAA World, NCAA Championships in Women's 100 meter hurdles. And we were all screaming and carrying on because we know me that go on bad. Forget me English and you know, Akira! So you were screaming and it was coming from your deepest emotions. The first question I want to ask you, why were you screaming like that? Was it simply because you won?
Well, there was different factors to it because as we know, like in 2022, I was not able to go to nationals. I had to shut my season down. So I feel like having to see like how far I've come in like training, making the transition over from Baylor to Arkansas. And also I felt like I wouldn't say it was being bullied, but you know that US and Jamaicans always have this thing to go back and forth and stuff like that. And I made a comment at Indoor National that I was just like, I'm a championship runner. And actually I am. And I just feel like everybody took it out of context. But when another young lady was able to say the world record is about to go down and stuff like that, it wasn't taken out of context. So that was one of the reasons. It's just like I've worked so hard and this is something that I've always dreamed of since like my freshman year at Baylor. So it was just like to see another goal that I had on my mirror just being able to tick off it was a very great feeling.
So it was just you were just overwhelmed with passion and stuff. You seem to be very passionate because when you made it to the national team, you were also, I mean, like we were almost brought to tears. You were also very, very excited. I remember you ran over, you hugged Megan Tapper.
Yeah.
The same thing?
I'm a very emotional person when it comes on to my sport because I know that I know the things that I have to do behind the scenes. I know the necessary sacrifices I have to make of being obedient, consistent, and determined to get where I am. So it's just like it's very emotional. And to see yourself at the age of 21 being able to accomplish, it might not be a lot to others, but it's like so much to you to see that you're coming from nothing and you work so hard to make something of yourself. It's a really good feeling.
But I mean, top 5 first world championships. That is,
Yeah.
What did your team say? What were your coaches? What were they saying when you? Okay, first question. I have to ask you this: when you're lined up there with Amusan, right, with Camacho Quinn, with all these people, Daniel Williams, was there anything going through your thought? And if there was, what was that thing in the finals? That is.
In the finals, I think for me, I was grateful that I actually made the finals because it's just like I am coming from a long collegiate season, and to be able to hold it that long, being fatigued, being so emotional about everything, and just being able to go into that lineup and just stand up right there. I've always said in my head, Akira, you're going to be one of the greatest. This is just an experience for you to understand the feeling of this. You just have to go there. You have to take it as a lesson. You have come far. You cannot be hard on yourself. So it's just like it doesn't matter. And I was crying after the race, and a lot of people thought that I was crying because I didn't win. No, that's not what I was crying. I was crying because coming fifth with so much good ladies in the field being able to make a final, it's good to give yourself credit. There's going to be a lot of emotions because it's just like it's me, I am doing this. So that's why I was actually crying. But a lot of people thought that was because I didn't win. But actually, if we're being honest, if I was doing the season of those ladies and it was a healthy year for me, I could have been a medalist. And I'm not second guessing myself. It's just the level of confidence that I have to have in myself.
Okay, so we have a question from one of our. I'm going to ask my friends if you can get the names of the persons asking the questions because I'm not seeing them, but they're sending your questions across. I'd love to know who's asking the question. This person says, uh, "What's something that you like doing off track? Do you have a hobby?
Yeah, I really do like cooking.
You do?
Yes, I really do like cooking. Like off the track, I feel like I like having a nice little meal, unwinding. I like reading also. Now I'm actually reading Beyond Fear by Sidney McClucking. That's a really good book, guys. Yeah.
Okay. That question apparently was from Luna. Luna, big up to yourself. Another question before I get into some of the questions I would like to ask was this: and this is a good one, which major championships are you looking forward to this year?
I think everybody is looking forward to this one championship, and that's to go to Paris.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward for the Olympics actually, and not only that too. I'm looking forward for like my first professional debate, on the circuit and feeling stuff out. So I'm also looking forward for like my little meets and stuff.
Okay. Now, you are a pro athlete.
Hmm.
What prompted that decision, or was it something that you had always calculated? Because there's a constant conversation. You probably don't know this because I guess you are very busy doing what you're doing. There's a constant debate here in Jamaica about whether or not the athletes should stay at home, or should stay in college, or stay in wherever, or become pro. You decided to go pro in 2020, I think. You did
Hmm.
pro last year. What prompted that decision, or was it something you had always calculated doing?
Well, for me, I knew that I was an athlete that can make it professionally. But one thing I've always told myself is that no matter what, track doesn't last forever. You do need an education. And it's just like if you have the opportunity for a school to pay for your education, take that opportunity. Because for me, it's just like going to college, you do need that experience for like a year or two. So I did want to go to college, and I was just like, I don't want it to be more than 3 years because it's just like, that's just too long. And it's just like, am I going to go to the right coach? Are they going to get me where I need to be? Am I going to be in the right program? Am I going to be around people who value me? But it was a strategy for me to say that I do want to go pro 2 to 3 years into my collegiate season. Yeah.
So, do you have a team around you that helps you to make these decisions, or is it family members, or is it just that you've always had a very clear cut idea, or you know how to pivot when you need to pivot?
I really don't have a team around me. I wouldn't say that I have a team around me, but I do have people around me. But I'm very headstrong, so it's just like I know what I want. So being able to know what I want, I sit down and I make goals for myself. Like I make some couple goals for like in 6 months, a year, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months from now. This is what I want for myself. So that decision was after I saw how good I was doing my freshman year. I was just like, okay, Akira, you don't need to be here more than 3 years. So then I decided that I'm going to focus a bit more on trying to get a professional contract.
So you switched schools.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered I was looking for it, but you know what? I don't want to break the vibe. I remember watching you run. I think you set your PB that year in that race. You were running against, I think it was Denisha. It might have been
Demisha.
Demisha, right? And you hobbled off the track, and we all panicked. We were like, "Oh my God!" Could what happened, and what led to your leaving that institution to the other institution?
Nobody knew this, but I was already inside of the transfer portal before I got hurt at the regional meets. But I went into the portal right after SEC, not SEC, I think it was Big 12 when I came second. I was already inside the portal. In the 4x1, I was going around, I was the starter, and I tore my plantar fascia. It was like a grade 3 tear. And I was just like, it's nothing serious. It's nothing serious, Akira. You got this. You got an X-ray. So I went back home. I was just like, it's hurting. It's hurting. And they're just like, Akira, we need to look at this. And I was just like, no, 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 no. I need to go to nationals. I need to go to nationals. Even though I know I would have already been at Arkansas, but I was just like, I need to go to nationals because I felt like I needed to prove to myself that year. And I took 6 painkillers and I went out there and I made it. And they're just like, well, you cannot go because you're not able to walk. And I was out for like 6 months. But this what made me switch school. I A lot of people question why I went to Baylor. But I went to Baylor because I needed a level of maturity. I needed a school that's going to help me to grow as a person more than they're going to help me to grow as an athlete. That's very important if you're going to succeed in this world. You need an environment that's going to support you, help with your character, help you to understand stuff. So I needed Baylor. But after my second year, I was just like, this is a school that I just want to just get a degree. But if I want to go professionally, I need to make a transition going into one of the hardest what would they call that, hardest group of runners and stuff like that. I needed to be in one of those tough school. I think I was ready to take up having a hard coach who loves me and stuff, but he's willing to push me instead of having me be complacent.
I understand. Okay, so Queen Vanty Williams wants to ask you, Queen Akira. She says, what is her level of fitness? Any nagging injuries?
No, I don't have any nagging injuries at all. My level of fitness right now is making that transition to understand that I'm not going to be at a peak level right now. My body is making adjustment to the new program that I'm in, the new weight room and stuff like that. My fitness level is where it needs to be right now. Yeah, and there's no nagging pain.
Okay, so King Jordan Williams asked, where are you at mentally? Very good question, Jordan. I was going to ask that now. And for your goals for the season.
Where I'm at mentally. Actually, mentally, I am here and there because it's just like I'm finishing my last year of school, going into grad school, and you know that the schoolwork sometimes is a bit onion and stuff like that. So you've got to practice. You don't feel as well as you want to do, so it can be a bit frustrating and stuff like that. But I feel like mentally, I'm in a good headspace. I'm very positive about everything and the step, and I'm learning to trust the process as well. But I think mentally, I'm very fine.
There's the question I want to ask you. I had a really severe injury that stopped me from touring for about a year. I was in bed for 6 months. I got four herniated discs and I chipped my fourth lumbar. Don't even ask. And the pain was so bad that even now, anytime my back just spasms, I almost go into panic. And I always say, when athletes go through that level of injury, it's a kind of trauma that they have to deal with emotionally as well as physically. In the 6 months, were you able to deal with that mentally, what had happened to you in terms of the injury?
Oh no, I was depressed. I was beyond depressed and stuff. And I'm the type of person that I don't trust easy. It really do take me a longer while to trust people, but during that time period, it allowed me to trust and to understand that I need these people around me. I need help. I cannot always do it on my own. So I feel like after allowing people to help me, I feel like mentally I got a lot better, actually. Yeah. So it wasn't really no burden. And then I'm a fighter, so it was just like I was doing rehab, I was getting treatment, I was pushing myself. So yeah.
Yeah, you are an exceptional 21-year-old on many levels. I've said that to you before. Um, 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so we have a question here from Jordanis. Ask her if she ever pays attention to social media chatter. Because I
Well,
do.
yes and no.
Mm,
Cause sometimes it really do be funny to me because it's just like I don't understand how can you guys be saying these things about people and it's just like a lot of you guys don't have facts about these athletes. A lot of you guys just watch the videos, hear certain stuff and just run with it. And it's just like a lot of comments make it seems like we're not humans. A lot of comments make it seem like we don't have niggles, we don't have ups and downs, we don't have struggle. Because everybody have their own favorite. But at some time you have to learn to give certain athletes a little level of grace. And for me, when I read the comments, it motivates me. Some of them really do motivates me. Some of them irritates me, but it's just like everybody have their own opinion. And
What
I
what would
stay true to myself.
what would irritate you and what would motivate you? Let's start
Um,
with irritation.
I was the irritation be like, oh yeah, she's not gonna do this, she's not gonna do that, because it's just like the other athlete has been doing this, the other athlete has been doing that, but you not because the other athlete is not on social media and they're not posting stuff out there does not mean that that athlete does not have accolades behind their name. Yeah.
What?
And what motivates me is
Yeah.
just like they have this thing to say, yeah, she's doing too much, she's a one hit wonder. Stuff like that be like, okay.
How could anyone call you a one-hit wonder? You've been winning consistently. I don't understand. That wouldn't make much sense. But I mean, I do know that because what I think since I've started to do this, right, is I realize that people are very passionate about you as athletes. They're very passionate. I've had people from the US because I said something that they disagreed with regarding, let's say, Shakari. Oh my God. And then I've had, so it's so I realized, and I kind of like it because I mean, as a singer, I mean, you get used to fans being really into what you're doing, and I think it's the same thing. And I think also one of the challenges that you may have is you're very young and you're
Mm-hmm.
accomplishing a lot of stuff. So you're being equated with people in their mid 20s and into their 30s. So there are going to be people who are saying, "Well, she hasn't been around long enough." But I'm a huge fan. I don't deny that. I look, and I'm not just a fan. I look at the numbers. Myself and the guys here, we look at the numbers. The team, we look at the numbers, and the numbers says you're pretty consistent. You're improving consistently, and you're doing great. Okay, Michael Hill says, "What are you studying, and what are some of your goals after track and field?" Great question, Michael.
I'm actually, well, I was studying psychology back at Baylor, but after traveling and stuff and see my GPA going down, I was just like, no, I need to find something easier. But now I'm currently doing mass communication. The reason why I'm also minoring in entrepreneurship. What I want to do after track, I actually do want to have a kids foundation. I really do want to have a little charity and stuff like that to help with kids. I also probably do want to be an agent, and I also probably want to be like a public speaker in track.
A sports agent.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Reason why I want to
Yeah.
be that
Yeah.
is the reason why I really do want to be that. I feel like a lot of agents out here, they're not honest with the athletes, and they're formulating contracts out here that is just having them being bind to the athletes, and it's just all about what the athlete can do for them, and are they willing to go to the extra mile for these athletes? Because I feel like a lot of agents have the athletes, they don't have no little conference or anything to be like, okay guys, this is what we're going to do this year. Have a little conference every now and then, the athletes come in, learn how to have proper interviews, have a conversation, because a lot of us really don't know how to have a conversation when we're asked certain questions. and stuff like that. And I feel like we and international students really not students, athletes really do need agents that knows how to make sure that they're able to have something after track and not just track. So like when track done, it's just like all of their money, they don't see where it is. Like you have to help those athletes to build a foundation for themselves after track. So that's why
Okay,
I'm allowed to be an agent.
that's a great answer. I mean, I'm big on financial literacy. That's a thing that I try to talk about a lot because I know that certain as an artist, and you're an entertainer. In the truth is you're an entertainer. Athletes are entertainers. So you're right. That's a very good perspective. So I want to switch it up just a little bit before I go back to some of these great questions. By the way, I should tell you that we call our subscribers here royals, and
Mm-hmm.
these people are so they know so much about track and field. Sometimes it scares me, right? Certainly way more than I do. But let's switch it up. What made Akira in prep or primary school get up and say, you know something, I'm going to jump over those things and run really fast in between? What motivated you to become a hurdler? Or was
My
it that you wanted to do something else?
No, my story started at Holy Rosary Primary School. That's literally at Winard Road. I had this coach. Why can I not? Mr. Perkins. That was his name, Mr. Perkins. And at sports, they ran really good. And he's just like, I needed to be a part of the track team. I did not like that because I don't know. I used to hate sweating, like smelling bad, sweating and stuff. I hated it. I still do. But it was just like, there was this one time I used to hide him out. And he waited at me at the school gate. And I did get an ass whooping
Oh no.
just because I didn't want to run. And when I went into grade 3, I got a medal. And I was doing good and stuff. And then I got the opportunity to get a scholarship to Excellence High School. And Mr. Clive at the time, he was just, my knees were, I couldn't do drills. Like I had no, it was terrible. I had no coordination, no nothing. And Mr. Clive saw something in me and he took the time out and he worked with me, Mr. Dougie also and Mr. Russell. But what made me took track very seriously was I had this friend, he died, he drowned. His name was Brandon. And a month before he drowned, he looked at me and he was just like, you're going to be a world class athlete. And he's just like, I need you to focus. I need you to lock in. And he's just like, you're going to break records. You're going to have a degree. You're going to have a beautiful life. And he's just like, I can't wait to watch you become a phenomenal. And I was just like, we are talking about you weird because
How old are you when that happened? When you had a conversation with you? How
I
old were
was
you?
15.
15. Wow.
Yeah, and August. What's that holiday in August? Heroes.
Heroes Day. You have Heroes Day and you have Emancipation Days, right?
Emancipation Day. 2 weeks before Emancipation Day, he's just like,
Independence. Right.
yeah, he was just like, I want you go be great world star. I may not be here to see it, but go be great. I was just like, what? And then he went to the beach and he drowned.
Oh no.
So,
Oh.
like he knew, and I hit rock bottom, literally. And the following year, I broke the under 18 record because I was just like, I owe this to him because he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. So I guess I got locked in. I got to the books. I got to the techniques. I got to the YouTube. I got to it because I was just like, I have to do this for him. And
I,
also there was also this special person that also had believed in me. I don't want to call his name,
yeah.
but he has been believing in me for a
Okay.
really long time.
That's good.
Mm.
Um, Track University asked a great question. How do you deal with disappointments?
There is no such thing as disappointments. I've always taken those stuff as life lessons. Because when you think about it as disappointment, you basically burden yourself as it is a failure. Um, Things that happen to me that I'm not pleased with, I take them as lessons and I go back to my coach or whoever it may be, and I was just like, how best can I learn from this? So I've never had disappointments. I've always had life lessons, and when I learn those lessons, I try not to make the same mistake. I'm not perfect. I will make the mistakes along the way, but there's no such thing as disappointments. Well, in my
Okay,
way.
Akira. Okay, I don't like the fact that you've been lying to people because you cannot be 21. Okay, you are gotta be
What do
like
you mean? I'm
70.
21. I was born in
That
April
no, listen, that
29.
answer is correct. It's correct. It's something I try to teach people. Unfortunately, remember we have been taught as a society never fail, never fail, never fail. But people don't understand that those failures are opportunities to just grow and learn. That's a fact. So I'm amazed that at 21, it's one of the reasons why you're doing so very, very well in your career, and it's probably one of the reasons why, I just locked in, spiritually and say, yeah, Akira. Um, um, Jordan Williams asks, "Who's your favorite athlete, especially in sprints, man or woman?"
I do have a lot. I'm not going to lie. I do have a lot of favorite athletes. My favorite athletes are my competitors, which is weird. Well, but when I was younger, I loved Sally Pearson. I loved Danielle. Like I love Danielle to my heart. Like Danielle and Megan, mwah. Like those were the females that made me really wanted to do hurdles so bad. And I love Brittany too. I don't know. Like I just really do like them as a person and also how they present themselves as athletes. I've always looked up to them. They do inspire me. But my has been like, nice does not win track, so you can't like your competitors. But I do love them.
Yeah,
Megan, Danielle, Brittany, and also Sally. And
yeah,
Toby now. Toby is starting to become my girl.
Toby. Yeah,
Hmm.
she has great spunk. I like that word.
Yeah.
I like spunk. Um, okay, so I have to ask you this. This is a personal question.
Hmm.
There's a name that, like, whenever I see you both compete, you zone in. You always zone in, but you zone in, and I don't understand the relationship. I call it the beanie bounty of this level. It's a young lady called Messiah Russell. I don't know what it is. I don't think you dislike each other, but when you guys are on that track, it is insane. And last year, I mean, it was a battle. What are your feelings and thoughts towards Messiah Russell? To be honest.
I don't have any. Our coaches are very good people, but it's just like when it comes out to competing, we got to locked in. I've never ever really had a conversation with her or anything, but I did like her at once. I still do like her. I don't hate her as a person because she is phenomenal talent. She had worked really, really, really hard to get where she's at right now. Because I grew up like watching her YouTubes and stuff like that. But I just feel like it's probably the level of competitiveness that we have between each other. And there's a dog in her and there's a dog in me. So it's just like we're going to go out there and we're going to show up and show out. Probably she has something about me that she does not like, or I don't know what it is, but I don't hate her or anything like that. It's just like this is our job, this is business. And I guess, you know.
Trevor F. The truth is, Trevor F. She answered that question. Trevor F. was asking, "What's your thoughts on the recent slew of athletes going pro straight out of high school?" Actually, you did really. What do you think about that? We see a lot of youngsters doing that. They skip college and they go straight. You have any thoughts on it?
Well, if you skip college and you go professionally, please go to college. That's my advice to any athlete. If you don't want to go to college, I don't mind you're not going to college because it's just like you probably go to a college and a university that takes advantage of you and you just lose your passion and the motivation and your talent goes down in the drain. But if you're able to get an opportunity right out of high school, take it. But please, I'm asking you, do go to college. The reason is track doesn't last forever. And you can sign a paper right now and you signing that paper, track does not go the way that you want to go. But guess what? You'll have a degree to bounce back on. Like having an education is very important. Like that is the base of any person at all because it's just like you're able to go out there and you're just not going out there empty handed. You're able to go out there to have a conversation to show your papers that this is what I work for and I can help your team in any possible way. So I feel like going to college is very important. No matter if you go pro right out of school or you go to college, getting a degree is very important.
All right. So my brethren, big up my brethren, Blurred. Um, big up yourself, Blurred. Blurred is asking this question. He says, "I want to know who's your biggest rival in sport. Do you have a
Everybody,
who?
everybody,
Everybody."
everybody,
I love that answer. That's a good answer.
every. Well, everybody has become my rival because right now we're all sitting at a table. And guess what? Nobody's going to share my meal for me. So it's just like when we get on that line, everybody wants to eat. So it's just like you're out there in the jungle and you have to fight for yours. So everybody's my rival.
There's an expression you have on your face. You had it at the NCAA outdoors uh, 100-meter hurdles finals. You just look. I mean, I know you to be sweet, Akira, but you just look like a. You just look fierce. In those moments, what's happening? Is it just that you're thinking, I got to get to that line, I got to get to that line? What's happening?
In moments like that, it's just like it comes down to I've worked so hard to get right here. And for me, in moments like that, it's crazy because I don't hear nobody else but the starter and that gun. Until I get through the line, I don't, it's crazy because I don't even see nobody else. It's just always been a thing where I've taken a deep breath, closed my eyes, say my little prayer, and the last thing I said is, God, it's me, you, the hurdles, and the clock, and I just go. Every other thing else is just me doing what my coach said we need to do. But the moment he looks me into my eyes and said it's go time, it's go time.
Wow. It just looks okay. So I watched you, of course. We all watched you recently at Milrose.
Milrose, yeah.
And I always notice this when you're all lined up there. Nobody's looking at anybody else. Like everybody, no one is even glancing left or right out going through that line. Did you get the start in that race that you wanted? Because it looked
Yes,
you
that
did.
was the best start of my. Let me tell you, I'm always the last one out of the blocks.
Mhm.
And when I tell you I got to that hurdle, it has been something that I've been working on. I think I've been more focused right now in my training about my start. It's getting a lot better. Now we're trying to figure out speed control, because in my Milrose meet, I got out and stuff like that. But as anybody can see, like getting close, like closer to the end, I start like slowing down. It was just because the hurdles was like, oh my god, and my body has never reached there yet at this time. It probably have, but I've gotten a bit stronger in certain aspect, and it's the fact that I'm beating everybody to the first, not beating everybody, but I'm close enough to everybody to the first hurdle, which I'm not used to. It's just like the hurdles come at me a lot more than me normally trying to pick up back down in the race.
That's something I noticed because I have noticed that most of the races that you have done really well in, of course, which is many races, you tend to kind of come from behind.
Mm-hmm.
And at Milrose, I was a little taken aback because you know you were, but to me, you can tell me if I'm wrong. You look as if you got up late, but you got to the first hurdle quickly. That's what I thought I saw. I might be wrong, but you looked faster out of the blocks. So I have to ask the obvious question.
Mm-hmm.
You you said weights. Are you lifting more? Have they? What kind of changes? I mean, I know you can't tell us the deep dark secrets, but what
Mm-hmm.
kind of general changes have been made to your program? Why do you think that you're getting that stronger, that faster?
I would say it has a lot to do with the weight room, and also have a lot to do with my diet, and it probably also have a lot to do with my training, the changing of practice and stuff like that, I'll say.
Mhm. All right, let me just switch for 5 seconds. All right, because I know I can be very silly.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have a favorite song?
uh yes, I do.
Okay, so because of YouTube, you think you can give us like 10 seconds of the favorite song? Less than 10 seconds.
um
Just
yes,
what's a tune? What's a tune? 'Cause I tell people every Jamaican can sing. You know what I'm saying? I say
no,
every
but I
Jamaican.
can't sing, but I
That
can't
don't
play
matter.
this. No.
Let's hear you.
Let's hear the song.
Yeah.
All right, cause I can't sing.
No. Don't play it. Don't play it. You can't play
But
it.
think
Don't play
you
it. No. Don't play it. Don't play it. Don't play it. YouTube. No, I
you
want you to sing it. 10 seconds. Just let me hear you.
I can't sing, but it came too far from Friday.
Mm-hmm. Akira, every Jamaican can sing. Even badly, but we can't sing. I'm teasing you.
That's
I
really
just thought we're getting
embarrassing.
so let me ease you back in. Okay. Jordan Williams says, "Do not pass any of the comments." Shem Williams said, "Will you be going to World Indoors?" That's a really good question.
Oh
Is
no,
that
no,
a part of the plan?
no. If it was, I think I would have run a lot more indoor hurdle race. I only did two. Because going to world indoors, I have to be very sharp for the level of caliber of ladies that will be lining up at the world championships.
Yeah.
The
So
indoor world championships, which I think the world record might go again, but let's see. But to be in that race, I have to be very sharp, and right now, I'm really not because I actually just started hurdle training literally.
okay, so I noticed last year you started to run the flat 100 again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, any particular reason? If it is,
Um, the
or
flat 100 meter is supposed to like to get your foot under you to get in between the hurdles. So the better your flat is the better it can help you inside of the hurdles. If you're technical enough. So what the 100 meter do is it just get you some speed endurance. So for as you can see, I probably not be where I need to be the first five hurdles, but by the time I hit five, six, and seven, I start coming. And that's because of the 100 meter speed of the endurance that it gives. So it start your top end start kicking in.
do you ever run like fours, 200, 400 meters, 200?
In high school, I did do 400. I think this year, you guys probably see me in a 400.
Oh, cool. All right. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm really looking
Yeah,
forward to that one.
but I did run the four in high school. I haven't done it in a while. I did four hurdles too. But yeah.
Now, Michael Hill, King Michael Hill asked a really, really good question. I mean, like I said, these questions are great, guys. Kings and queens, I cannot call them the guys. He said, what would you change about track and field if you could?
What would I change about track and field if I could?
Well, I
I
know you talked about representation a while ago, and that, representation is not what it should be, but is there anything else?
I would say I would change the way how shoe companies treat us athletes.
Interesting.
Yeah. The reason is I understand that this is a money making thing, but every machine breaks down. Every machine have their flaws, and I just feel like we are putting this is our goal, and we're putting ourselves out there to represent the brands. But it's just like, are you guys not only just the money? Because it's just like, yeah, but how best are you helping these athletes that are wearing your brands?
Oh,
Are you treating them like just to put your brand out there? Or you're treating them as family? I would say that would be my thing,
that,
probably.
that's actually, that makes a lot of sense. Now, you're with Adidas, am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy? Are you comfortable with
I am very, very happy with Adidas. Actually, I just feel like Adidas do treat their athletes like family. Like they just love on us. Like it's not all about like what we're just doing out here and stuff like that. They literally do love on us. It's just like I feel like they do talk to a lot of us directly than talk to our agents and stuff like that. And like major championships, they'll be at the meets. I probably think everybody do that, but they'll be at the meets and they say hi to their athletes. They're chit chat with us, and it's really nice. I
yeah.
would say it's a very great feeling.
Let me interrupt you for 5 seconds. You are here at, yep, Good to Go live stream, our very, very first sports live stream out of Peter Lloyd World. And we have the remarkable Ackera Nugent, who is so much more than a rising world champion and possibly Olympic gold medalist, I think. Just incredible having a conversation with her. Just wanted to remind you of this remarkable young lady. So we have, well, Shem said, what did Shem? Okay. Jordan Williams says, seeing the 60-meter hurdles world record being broken, do you think like I want to attempt to break the world record to go 7.6, especially since your PB 7.72?
Well,
I told my people here are very nice. Yeah.
everybody goal is to break a world record. Like everybody goal is that. But I just feel like I'm very patient. When it's my turn, it's my turn. Everybody has their turn. But if it's God will for me to break the indoor record, that's something that I really do want for myself. But then at the same time, I need to understand that I am young, and I don't need to put a lot of pressure on me right now to get that. And 7.772 can seem so near, but it takes a lot to get to 7.6.
I tell people that to know that it's not as close as it looks, but for us, the person, it looks close. All right, I want to go back to Adidas. Why Adidas and not Nike or Puma or someone else or New Balance? Why Adidas?
New Balance is not international. I'm just saying. Um, Nike is a US based shoe company, I would say, and I just didn't like the proposal that I got from them. Puma, I've never seen myself going to Puma. I just feel like everybody's over there. I don't have an issue with them, but I just feel like everybody's over there. And for Adidas, um, it felt right.
Yeah.
And for me, I've never done anything. I'm very spiritual, I would say. I've never done anything without prayers. And when I was going to sign my deal, I had all of them in front of me. And I was just like, God, upon this journey, I will not do it without you. And I ask you to pick it for me. That's literally what it was. And I give it to you. And I just felt like Adidas was a bit more patient with me than everybody else. They're just like, we will wait on. So that's why Adidas.
That's why. Okay, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, King. Do twine. Hope that's correct. Says, what has been your proudest or greatest track and field moment so far?
All of them. Because all of them have a story behind them.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll say all of them. Is even the little meets. All of them are like my proudest ones. But I would say being able to see myself having a professional contract at the age of 21, as Jamaicans would say, breaking generational curse. I'd say it would be one of my top moments. Good track.
Well, we are very proud of you here. You know that. You've known that from day one. That definitely. Um, so you're 21. You have a shoe deal. They say you're 12th in the world, but you're five. You're last year. I mean, I understand and I'm not going to argue, but I think you're fifth in the world. At Milrose, you were really competitive. You were right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a big year, Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, the women's, and I've said it repeatedly on this channel. If you can go back and look at my videos, I've said she's going to be on the podium, people. She's going to be on the podium. I see her on the podium.